What's up, everyone? Champet's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC Edmonton, Moreno versus... Look who it is, Amir Albazi. The guy I've had as my YouTube profile picture since I started. This weird... Whatever they've done to Albazi's face. This thing. Which I think I always thought was really funny. But it's his fight week and I'm very excited. I'm excited for the occasion. I'm just going to have this background, even though I don't have a green screen. The background will be him, so apologies for the wacky camera work or whatever, but not a big deal. As always, though, let's go over the results last week. UFC 308, what a great card that was. But otherwise, we did pretty good. So we can go through in order of all the fights. So I believe this was the first one. Mitabek Orobai versus Mateusz Ronbetsky. So I did end up picking Orobai to win, but I did make it very clear in the video. I was like, bro, the odds are insane. Ronbetsky's not no bum. He's not no, and I feel validated for the opinion I had in the Carlos Diego Ferreira fight. We're going I was like, dude, this dude Ronbetsky's so good. He's so good, and he is really good. So is Orobai. And what a fight of the night type fight. But I was like, I think Ronbetsky's going to at least get round one. He's going to at least get round one. And I don't think he's going to get 10-8'd. And he didn't. And he was able to even get round three by a knockdown. Somehow one judge gave that to Orobai. I mean, I kind of sort of get it, but not really, because the knockdown was the biggest part of the round. But Ronbetsky was tired at the end of the round. Orobai was just keep coming, keep going, and ready to just keep wrestling. And Ronbetsky was like, God, get this man off me. But I did end up playing the plus 3.5. Didn't put too much on it. I was like, there's no way I can't put a little bit on Ronbetsky here, even though I'm not even sure if he does win. I was very 50-50 on the matchup. And I feel very happy with myself that I was able to place that. I wish I put a little more. Hindsight's 20/20. It's not putting too much mind into that. But man, great freaking win by Ronbetsky. And I just realized I skipped one fight before this. There was another fight that was actually two fights. Farid Basharat versus Victor Hugo Silva. I went to the well early and decided to bet Farid straight up. On fight week, I was very, very, very afraid. I was very, very, very afraid once I saw Victor Hugo basically came up in a weight class above. Holy, what is going on? And I was like, if I could cash out, I would, but it's like I can't even do that. And it's like, you know what? I'll let it ride. I trust in Farid. Farid looked great. Farid is a very good fighter. I still stand by Javid being the better one, even though I know he has a loss to Game Zahabi, and Farid doesn't have a loss in the UFC. Whatever. I still think he's the better one. But that doesn't mean Farid isn't good. Farid is really, really good. And he basically took Victor Hugo to school. Any submission attempts that were somewhat like dicey, nah, Farid took care of it well. That was a pretty easy bet, and I'd bet it again. Unless I knew Victor Hugo was coming in super coming in a whole nother weight class up. Unless I knew that, I would have stayed away, but nonetheless. Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. I went with Abus. I thought he'd have the better gas tank, and I honestly, well, to be fair, oh man, I didn't expect him to get gassed like that again. Against Bruno, who fought really differently. Bruno in round one was like, I'm just going to hold off and do what I do in round two. He didn't really do much in round one. Round one, it was just the Abu show. He had control the whole time. He was kicking no problem, kicking a bunch. Bruno not really doing much. Then as the fight went on, Bruno started to let go and let himself go. And he did end up winning round two. He did. I'm pretty sure he won round two. And I was like, he was kind of on his way to winning round three, sorta, but Abu's got a huge takedown. He was able to take down Bruno Ferreira pretty easily, which is like, damn, I thought the judo background guy. Well, I didn't think that. I had money on Abus. I was like, the guy with the judo background is getting taken down. This is not so good for you. The ending sequence was hilarious. I will say, Bruno was able to get up And then Abu's so tired, looks up at the clock, is like, "Oh shoot, there's so much time left," and and Bruno just like looks at him, and he just gets taken down right away and just gets finished like that. It's what the hell? What was that ending sequence? That was hilarious. I'm glad I didn't go too crazy with that. With like Abu's kind of gassing, it's like, yikes, this was not worth the heart attack I was I was getting. Abu's won though, so props to him. He was much better on the ground, and I think that was like him being much better on the ground definitely was what got him the win. I believe the next one up from what I have is RDA versus Jeff Neal. What can I say? I picked RDA to win. Yeah, that was not so great. He was kind of outgunned. That did feel pretty dumb in like retrospect, but I was like, hey, he'll be able to keep himself safe or not. And to be fair, maybe he would have been able to in like rounds 2 and 3. I thought the fight would go further, which is why I put over 2.5 in this fight as like a way of like balancing out, like putting just a little bit on RDA. I wasn't like ultra like, oh, RDA's getting this done. He's getting this done. Like, I feel bad for RDA. His ACL's gone. I think you said on social media. Get well soon. That's rough at his age. So I hope for the best for RDA. I was really pissed because I did have a bet on you can't show it on betma.tips, but I had a bet on RDA more takedowns, and he got taken down. That hurt my soul. I couldn't believe Jeff Neal actually did that. I was like, why are you taking down RDA? But no, fair play, Jeff Neal. He looked good. He did what he had to do. Probably me being dumb, so it is what it is. I took a little shot on that. Another bet I had, although lost because of the RDA fight, was Ibo Arslan Rafael Cerqueira. I don't know what the hell the plan was. What was the plan for Cerqueira? I don't really know. The dude just got bonked and held his guard up and just let Ibo Arslan do his thing and just land big. That was... I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, what is this? What is this? I mean, okay, Ibo Arslan, fair play. You did what you had to do. I don't... Cerqueira had a... I think I did mention that Cerqueira does have a thing where he's like, gets back to the defense and just gets wailed on. And you can't do that against a guy like Ibo Arslan. Ibo Arslan is not good. He's not good. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's very physical. He hits very hard. But once he fights pretty like some skilled people in the division, it's not going to be too well unless he makes some drastic improvements, which maybe it's possible. It's possible. So maybe I shouldn't talk down too much on that. The next fight up the card, the big bet of the card for me, the one that basically decided profit or not profit. My boy Lerone Murphy. Goodness, I was so scared round 1. I also had a bet on the spread. I didn't put so much on it because I was like, I already have enough. Lerone Murphy. But I was like, I'm gonna put the spread on it. I think I can win all 3 rounds, and like maybe Ige will have an argument for like 1 round, but like one judge will give Lerone 1 round. He got dropped round 1. And my heart was like, no, Lerone, please pull through. Man, Lerone is built different. He's built different. He got shot in the head. Still live from that motorcycle accident. Still live from that. Lerone is no quit, and that's why I knew I could trust my money with this dude. And not to mention, technique-wise, he's so good. I will say the takedown defense is... Please work on that. The grappling itself is pretty alright, to be honest. It's good. But the takedown defense... No. That's not good. Good job getting up, though. He did what he had to do in round 3. Round 2 was all Lerone doing his thing. I mean, even round 1, Lerone was doing his thing pretty much most of the round. But Ige was able to land a big shot and start teeing off a little bit on Lerone. And like, Lerone, what are you doing? Just fight smart. And he did start fighting smart in round 2. And it's like, man, yes, this is the guy I believed in. Yes. In round 3, he started doing well at the beginning of the round. Went for a takedown. got reversed, and Ige was on top. I was like, no, come on, Lerone, get up. Get up, I believe in you. And he had moments of like doing sweeps and stuff like that, and he's able to get up towards the end of the round. And Ige didn't really do much damage on top. It was pretty weird to see. It was very weird to see. Because I would think Ige would know by now to do some damage. But he let it go. He let that one go. But Lerone did a great job getting up, and then once he got up, damage. And even when he found a way to reverse position, landed some good shots on top, and he put a stamp at the end of the round and got the win. You the freaking man, Lerone. I love you. You the man. Please work on that takedown defense. And it's not the end of the world. Lerone is not old. He's 33, I know that, but he's not old in terms of like fight years and stuff like that. He got into the game relatively late, so he's still young and he can still make lots of improvements. I got a lot of belief in Lerone. I think he can do some great things still. So yeah, thank you, Lerone Murphy. And then Alexander Rakic, I swung for the fences a little bit because the line it was at plus 320, insane. With how the fight played out, it was kind of insane to be honest. Rakic, I did think got one round one, which I think all the judges agreed on that. But Magomed Ankalaev was too much. Played it safe, fought smart, fair play. Like he did great. Rakic was not necessarily, well, I mean, I guess you could say outgunned, but he wasn't necessarily like out technique and skilled totally. Honestly, he did fine. He didn't win. He didn't. His corner telling him, "Hey, it's okay. You got the first 2 rounds. You're good." No, no, Rakic. What do you do? This corner is screwing you over. It is what it is. I wouldn't mind making that bet again because I do believe in Rakic. It was a bad time to believe him this time, but it is what it is. It would have been really nice if it hit, but Lerone Murphy is all I cared about. So as long as I had Lerone Murphy, I would have been fine with anything else betting wise. But otherwise, let's just look at the picks. Renat Fakhretdinov, Carlos Leal, 30-27. Renat. Muhammad Ali, what are you on? What are you on? I thought the fight was close. I thought it was 2-1 Leal, but I didn't think it was out of this world to say 2-1 Fakhretdinov. I thought 3-0 Leal was also on the table. 3-0 Fakhretdinov. You're not watching the fight. I don't know how you get that scorecard. Yeah. It's a good fight, but Renat. It's like 3 fights in a row. It's been dicey. Pretty dicey for Renat, so yikes. Nardiev versus Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva is washed. I think there's no question about it anymore. He's not good. It hurts my soul because I'm a big Bruno Silva fan. He just not trying. He didn't try, and you can tell later on in the fight he didn't try. It looked like he was gassed. It was not a good look for him. Otherwise, Nardiev looked freaking good. Did what he had to do. They're doing everything he wanted in the fight. So fair play to Nardiev. Good win. Good win for Nardiev. Talked about this one. Kenny. Oh, this was so sad. Barnett hurt his leg mid-fight by trying to throw a spinning wheel kick. As a result, Kennedy's able to take over. Otherwise, I mean, Kennedy was fighting pretty good beforehand, keeping distance. And I think I said this in my breakdown. It's like, if Kennedy fights smart, I really don't see how he loses this. He fought smart. So, props to Kennedy. He didn't do stupid Kennedy things like Kennedy's done in the past. Props to Kennedy. He could be a problem at heavyweight if he keeps fighting smart and being the big body he is and being long. So, good for Kennedy. Talked about this one. Shara Magomedov versus Armen Petrosyan. I was gonna put a bet on Petrosyan, but it's like I'm so scared that I expected this fight to go to decision, and I was like, I can't. I'm so scared this fight goes to decision, and Armen gets robbed. And if I would have put a bet, it would have been really small. Glad I didn't, because Petrosyan didn't look bad. I thought he was doing good. I know most people have said Shara won round 1. I thought he won round 1. Petrosyan won round 1 towards the beginning of the round, where he looked like he put some damage on Shara. Props to Shara though. He definitely was winning as the fight went on though. That was a freaking crazy KO. something out of Tekken. I was like, I saw a video online, Brian Fury doing like a fake, not fake knee. It was a sidekick, fake knee, then spinning back, double spinning back fist, insane KO. That was a KO of the year contender. It's not gonna win because Max Holloway is gonna win KO of the year contender for the Gaethje KO, but my goodness, well done, Shara. That was a really good kickbox she did that against, and Armin Petrosian's no joke. This is by far the best guy Shara's beaten. So props to Shara. Got to give him respect there. He's ranked now. Kind of crazy, to be honest, because I feel like RoboCop deserves a ranking more than him, but I'm not too mad. I'm not too mad. Oh, he'll make fun matchups. Talked about this one. Hamza Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. Hamza able to do his thing. Broke his teeth by doing a face crank, which is pretty freaking insane. Props to Hamza. I thought he would win on the feet. Like I said, I thought he would like be willing to stand with Whittaker, and Whittaker's chin will give way. He tried to wrestle. I was thinking, I'm not crazy about the gas tank. If you do this and he gets out of the round, it'll be a little scary. It's gonna be a little scary. But Hamza was able to do what he needed to do and win. Props to Hamza. He did a great job. Against Indricus, I think is gonna be a super interesting fight. I lean Indricus. I won't lie. But props to Hamza. The hype train is back for Hamza Chimaev. Hey, he's back in the hunt. Respect. And Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. I didn't want to get involved with this one. I wasn't super duper sure how it would play out. I went with Max to win a decision because I thought his chin will hold up. There were 4 things in play that I thought if Max is going to win, he needs all 4 of these things. And if he doesn't have one of these things, he's going to lose. The 4 things were weaponized pace, unlimited cardio, lots of volume, and unbreakable chin. 3 of those things I thought were pretty true, but 1, unbreakable chin. He got hit. He got hit big by Ilia Topuria. First guy to knock out Max Holloway. Man, this dude's nasty. This dude Ilia Topuria is nasty. You don't have to like him. I don't necessarily like him, but Ilia is freaking good. So, hey, respect to him. I really appreciate him being more respectful after the fight. I hope he keeps it up like that because it makes it a lot more easier to like you if you do that kind of thing. So, yeah. Well played to Ilia Topuria. But now we get on to this card. Edmonton. First fight of the card, Jack Shore versus Yusuf Zalal. I like Zalal. I think he wins a decision. I think he wins a decision against Jack Shore. I think it's gonna bite Jack Shore in the butt again, him being a featherweight. Yusuf Zalal is a featherweight and he's just much bigger. I think Zalal can absolutely do good kickboxing at distance and be fast and keep distance but come into distance quick and get out because he's really good at that. I think he can out grapple Shore because of being bigger and really putting it on Shore on the ground. I love Zalal here. I have a bet on him. I think like I said, the biggest thing, the size. Shore needs to be at 135, I think, if he wants to have success. And Zalal, I really believe in. He's got all the momentum right now. I think Zalal is gonna keep it going. When he's not at Factory X anymore, but that team that's been there has been killing it lately. Roy Val, Hernandez, just had big wins not too long ago. Oh, the guy from Garule from Contender Series, I think his name was. That team has been killing it lately. I think Zalal keeps the trend up. I have a bet on Zalal. I bet him early at like minus 185. Pretty happy with that. Jamie Lynn Horth versus Ivana Petrovic. This fight makes me want to just tear my hair out. It's a hard one to pick, I won't lie, but I'm going to go with Jamie Lynn Horth to win a decision. Petrovic is not good. Every time I've watched her, I'm just like, this girl just ain't it. Against Luana Carolina, who again is like, who's pretty good. You can't take it away from now because Luana Carolina's been doing pretty good as of late. But against Na Liang, it's yikes. I'm not crazy about her. She's still young. She's probably making improvements still. I do like she's training with Josephine Knudsen. So if I get it wrong, I blame it on Knudsen for being that girl and teaching this girl how to be good. But I think the size is gonna be a bit of a difference here because Jamie Lynn Horth is a big lady herself. I know, like size wise, this technically goes to Petrovic's favor, but on the feet, it's a whole different level. Like Petrovic has nothing on the feet, and I think Jamie Lynn Horth is going to be able to keep it on the feet. And to be fair, her last loss against Veronica Hardy, not too bad of a loss, to be fair. And she competed well on it. She competed well. I think it might have even been a split decision, if I remember. Yeah, it was. It was a close fight. I've not liked anything I've seen of Petrovic. I'm gonna be real. I've not liked it. I think the Canadian's gonna step up to the plate and do well. I'm gonna go with Jamie Lynn Horth. I'm not confident in this at all. I don't believe in either of these ladies as of right now. Maybe they'll change my mind. At least Jamie Lynn Horth can follow a game plan and be smart, and I think she can keep it on the feet and be fine. So, Jamie Lynn Horth to win. Shannon Helliger versus Cody Gibson. This is another one that's like, I'm not crazy about it, but I'm gonna go Gibson by decision. I think he can throw a lot of volume here. Maybe have some grappling success. I don't think the grappling is as pronounced as people have said. I've heard other people say, but I think Gibson is going to be more output. Wouldn't surprise me if Van Helliger steps up to the occasion in Canada and wins. Wouldn't shock me, but I think Gibson gets to win. I think sub is possible as well, to be fair, but I think Chad Helliger will be tough for the Canadians. So give me Cody Gibson. This fight. This is a tough one for me too. I think it's going to be Armfield early or City late. And if it goes to decision, it's going to be depending on how round 2 goes. This one hurts me to do because I'm really not sure. City looked good last time out. He lost. I did think he lost, but City's good. This guy's not no bum. Armfield is pretty good too. The odds are interesting. I will say that. Like, let me check the odds real quick again. Like, I think Armfield is not as big of a favorite anymore. I think Armfield, maybe you can get an ARB opportunity with Armfield early and then City live. I think that's a possibility. And it might be something I do. I wouldn't track it on Ben Maynard says because you can't track ARBs. So you can't do live bets. So I wouldn't track it on anything like that. I'm not gonna give it out as a bet or anything like that. I'm gonna go City to win a decision in Canada. I think he's gonna take over as the fight goes on. He might eat a big shot early on from Armfield, but he's gonna compete early. He's a tough son of a gun. I think this is gonna be fight of the night. I think City's gonna survive that onslaught and really put it on Armfield as the fight goes on. Although something to worry about with Armfield is that City's not really gonna be looking to wrestle him, and Armfield's not been having a matchup where he's not getting wrestled in quite some time. So I'm not ultra confident in City, but I think he steps it up for Canada. He wants to get one back for Canada. I think he'll win this one. But Armfield, I might change my mind on that, but I'm gonna go with City for now. Like, if I change my mind, I'll make a comment on the video. That's fight of the night for a reason. That's a great fight. That's a genuinely great fight. So I'm super excited for it. Maybe fight goes a distance is not a bad bet because I think the fight will go long. And if you want to hedge that out with something, Garrett Armfield early finish, I think. Alexander Romanov versus Rodrigo Nascimento. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go Romanov round 1 KO. If you like Romanov, why not just bet the under 1.5? Like, I think that's just a better line. Plus 145 for under 1.5, and I think that's Romanov's win condition. And even with Romanov's win condition, you can get Nascimento to finish him early on from Romanov maybe gassing out. I don't think it's a bad play at all. It's something I'll look into playing. If I do, I'll probably not put too much on it. But I do think Romanov gets a takedown, does his big King Kong thing, and win like that. So I like Romanov to win. Not ultra confident in Romanov. It's hard to be confident in heavyweights, but that's what I think. Charles Jourdain versus Victor Henry. I was about to say Victor Hugo. That would have been bad. But Charles Jourdain. I like Jourdain here. I think he wins a decision. Henry is indestructible. He is so tough. He is so tough. So I don't see Jourdain getting a finish. Maybe he does because he's coming down a weight class. First time at bantamweight. He's never the biggest featherweight to begin with, so I think this is a good change for him. I think he'll hit the bigger shots in this matchup, and I think the judges will like what Jourdain does because of that compared to Victor Henry's volume. And I think because of that, Jourdain's gonna win. Also, the crowd of Canada, they're gonna be oohing and awing anything Jourdain does. I think they'll like Jourdain a lot here. I'm probably gonna have to put a bet on Jourdain. I'm a Jourdain guy. I don't think I've ever picked against Jourdain, surprisingly enough. So, and that just doesn't necessarily mean I've done good on him. Should have won that Burgos fight. I will say that, but he's not been doing so great as of late. So, hey, my boy Jourdain, I guess. I think he'll get it done though. He'll make a comeback in Canada, get a win. Ariane Lipski, aka Ariane Da Silva, and Jasmine Jasudavicius, or Jasudavicius. I heard her say like pronounce it a certain way in Ariel's podcast, Helwani's not podcast, like MMA Hour, not MMA Hour anymore, it's on Crowned, but pronounce it. I'm gonna go with Jasudavicius. This is a very interesting fight. This is a super interesting fight. Let me check the odds because the odds for this fight have been interesting. Yeah. This is an interesting fight. I think I'm gonna go with Lipski / Da Silva by decision. I will say this, like I'm very afraid going against Jasmine in Canada because anytime Jasmine fights in Canada, she steps it up. She always steps it up, and she's so tough. I totally get that. I'm very scared of that. But man, Lipski's good. She's a good fighter. On the feet, if this fight's on the feet, bro, Lipski's gonna piece her up. And Lipski actually does have good takedown defense. She does. The worry, of course, Jasmine's a big girl. She's absolutely a big girl. So that's a massive worry. Super durable, super tough. She'll take a beating on the feet and to try and do what she wants to do. But I think with how she does takedowns, I think Lipski's going to be able to keep it up on the feet and land the bigger shots. That's just what I think. And training with girl like Amanda Nunes' gym, I always think that's good. Losing to Karine Silva is not a bad loss. And even, honestly, she doesn't get head kicked. I bet this fight. She doesn't get head kicked round 2. She wins that fight. I stand by that. Because she won round 3. I think, yeah. Round 3 she won. Round 1 she lost. Round 2 it was like close. She landed more damage. But like Karine Silva took her down, doing nice damage there. But then Lipski gets a chance to get up, gets head kicked, and that's the round for Silva. And Lipski is very good. She's very, very good. She's made massive improvements. I'm very scared going against Jasmine in Canada, so this is not going to be a big bet. But I'm going to put a little bit on Lipski. I think she's good enough to get it done. So yeah, I don't think KO is something crazy. Maybe like fight ends by KO is not a bad bet if I'm honest. The reason why I say that is because, of course, on the feet, Lipski can land flush. Her pop is different to a lot of other girls. Taking out Casey O'Neill like she did, impressive as hell. Because Casey O'Neill has got a chin on her. She 100% has a chin on her. And it's possible that Jasmine can go down to that too. And of course, if Jasmine is able to get down to the ground, which honestly is possible, absolutely is possible, she can elbow Lipski, and maybe Lipski wants to way out and gets KO'd like that. So I'm not out here saying Jasmine has no chance, nothing like that. But hey, by KO, it's actually not that unreasonable. I do believe in Jasmine's toughness, so I'm gonna go with decision. But if that KO happens, don't be surprised. Ayman Zahabi versus Pedro Munoz. This is a sick fight. This is a pretty tough one, to be honest, but I'm gonna go with Ayman Zahabi by decision. I think Pedro Munoz is washed. I do. At the odds now, I'm not crazy about Zahabi. Like minus 142. Yeah. I would have wanted him to get him. Would have wanted to bet him at underdog odds. I wish I did. But maybe I don't. Zahabi is good, and I think he does check leg kicks very well, like pretty well. He's pretty good defensively. And the problem with Munoz, he's hittable. He's so hittable, and I think Zahabi's gonna take advantage of that. Honestly, he's at a good team with TriStar. He's been on a great momentum, waiting for not for Reed, Javid Basharat, in a close fight. But that Javid is good. I'd take probably Javid over Pedro Munoz at this point. I would. I think Zahabi wins, man. It feels weird to say, but he's fighting someone older than him, which is pretty crazy to say. He's in Canada. I think he's gonna step it up again in Canada. Maybe not get a KO this time. I'm like against my boy Mongolian Murderer. That hurt my soul. But I think Zahabi wins a fight. It probably goes long. Give me Zahabi the win. It is a big step down in competition for Munoz. I will say that. I will definitely say that. Although his last fight was such a bad look because he made me think Kyler Phillips had cardio. Kyler Phillips did everything he wanted with Pedro Munoz. Props to Pedro staying in there, but like that was bad. That was like a bad look in retrospect. Not because Kyler's bad. Kyler's not bad at all by any means, but couldn't put on Kyler and get him tired. Kyler was able to fight his fight. Damn. Next fight up the card: Mike Malott versus Trevin Giles. I'm taking Mike Malott round 1 KO. I think that's fair with how Giles has looked and gets KO'd pretty often. Under 1.5 is plus money. I feel like I'd rather take that than just Malott because I'm not necessarily counting Trevin Giles out of this fight. Trevin Giles is good. Looked pretty good against Prates. Was aiding freaking well. He just got KO'd bad. It's been getting KO'd bad a good amount. Although the worry is Mike Malott fights different, and because he fights different, he's going to go over 1.5, still win. But even then, I think Mike Malott is just, he does hit a little bit different. And someone like Trevin Giles, I don't think can take those shots. And maybe even a sub is possible. Trevin Giles is good grappling too. But I think on the feet, he's going to be able to land on Trevin Giles. So that's what I think for this fight. I think Mike Malott gets a quick KO. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Dustin Stoltzfus. My boy, the power bar. I'm so sad I had to fade him last time against Joe Pyfer. That hurt my soul. But it's like, this is a Joe Pyfer win. But this is power bar season right here. I think power bar does his thing. He drowns Dustin Stoltzfus till the end. I don't really know where Dustin Stoltzfus really wins this. And even if he is winning at one point, I think he breaks. I think his cardio is going to betray him in this one. Powerbar does a great job at making people tired. Unless you're fluffy. That's like the one instance he didn't. It was the other way around. Which is why partly why I rated Fluffy so high. He was able to make Marc-Andre Barriault tired. That's insane. But Stoltzfus doesn't really bring a finishing threat, and because of that, I don't really know what Marc-Andre Barriault has to worry too much about. Maybe the grappling a little bit, but I think he'll be fine there. I like Marc-Andre Barriault to win, so give me Barriault to win. I think I'm gonna bet him. Even at these odds, which has come down. So yeah, give me Marc-Andre Barriault to win. Next fight up the card: Kyle Machado versus Brenton Hibero. This is interesting. Give me Kyle Machado, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. Round 1 KO. Why am I going round 1 KO? Because it's Brenton Hibero. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't KO him round 1 or anything like that. But Brenton Hibero is so killer be killed, but I don't think he's good at all, and I think he's killer be killed with having very little chin. His chin is not good. Yeah. Kyle Machado, I know at heavyweight's kind of bad. Losing Dante Almeida ain't a great look. I picked Dante Almeida to win that fight. And to be fair, that was a close fight. But also, Kyle Machado, honestly, kind of should have won against Mick Parkin. I will say that. I bet Mick Parkin there, and I was sweat. That was a sweat. That was one of the biggest sweats I've ever had. Well, not necessarily because I didn't have that much money on Mick Parkin. I was like, what the hell is this? What happened to Mick Parkin? That fight, Jamal Pogues. I thought you were good, and he is good. He is good, but he didn't look so great in that fight. And Kyle Machado did have a really funny moment in that fight where he took the back of Mick Parkin, but then just fell over. That was hilarious. But Kyle Machado here at 205. Now his debut at 205. Cut the weight. Now he's looking good. Looking good physique wise. Which is good to see. I think he can have grappling success here. I mean, like the guy Brenton Hebera lost to last time. Kind of dreadful, I won't lie. Dreadful and got absolutely out-grappled. I think Machado can absolutely do the same thing. I think his power can carry down from heavyweight to light heavyweight. Not necessarily because he had a crazy amount of power, but I mean, it's Brenton Hebera. You don't have to be no crazy hitter to knock this guy out. I know Min Yang Zhang knocked him out, but to be fair, Min Yang Zhang hits like a truck, unlike Kyle Machado, but I don't even think you necessarily need to be that to KO this guy. Give me Kyle Machado. I think he can get a finish. I don't want to bet him getting a finish. I'm not that crazy. Although I bet you odds on that are pretty good. Honestly. I think I might just bet the money line, which has come down a lot. I'm willing to fade Brenton Hebera at all costs. I think this guy is just not it. I think he's just not it. So, give me Kyle Machado to win. Derek Lewis versus Jahanta Denise. I'm not sure if I'm saying his first name right, but it's Denise. It's definitely Denise. This is an interesting one. I think if it's on the feet, I think Denise will be fine with the power. No, I mean, obviously can't take the shots from Lewis, but I think he'll fight safe and not get hit like that. But I think Derek Lewis is going to wrestle. And because I think he's going to wrestle, I think he KOs him with ground and pound. That's what I honestly believe. I think Derek Lewis will have success in the wrestling. It's weird because in Denise's last fight, he fought Carl Williams, who's a really good wrestler. He didn't choose to wrestle till round 3 for some reason. Once he started wrestling, he got Denise down and he was fine. Like, why didn't you do that earlier? It's pretty wild to see. But as we've started to see Derek Lewis start to wrestle more against Nascimento, we saw him wrestle. Just, hey, good development. He's getting better at 39 years of age. Crazy. I think because of that, him being able to do that, I think he can win like that. And if he gets him down to the ground, I think Denise might be freaking screwed. And that's what I'm picking. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Lewis is going to go for a takedown. I think he knows, well, why am I going to kickbox this guy? I'm going to go ahead, shoot a takedown, pound his head in. I think that's what Derek Lewis is going to do. Give me Derek Lewis by KO. Next fight of the card, Rose Namajunas versus Erin Blanchfield. This is the fight I'm most excited about. I'm not going to have a bet on this. I am completely torn down the middle. I think this is a 50-50 fight. Why is that? Rose's advantages, the footwork. I think she's going to light up Blanchfield on the feet. There's no question about that. She's going to light up Blanchfield on the feet. And I think the footwork can definitely give Blanchfield some problems. And because of that, Erin Blanchfield is going to show, she's going to show damage on her probably. To be fair, Erin Blanchfield's durable, so props to her. Maybe she can't take a shot from Rose. Who knows? She'll probably be fine. I think she'll be fine. Rose also has really good get-ups. She does have good get-ups, which is a little bit of a problem for Blanchfield if she isn't able to hold her down, which, I mean, that's kind of the question, if she can take down Rose and if she can hold her down. I'm honestly not sure. And that's like the big deciding factor. For Blanchfield's side, this is not Menon Fior. This is not Fioro. I want to say Menon's name right. She deserves it. She's awesome. I love her. She made me a lot of money on that fight against Erin Blanchfield. Made me so proud. This isn't Menon. This isn't the size. She has the size this time around against Rose. Unlike last time where she's got absolutely outsized by Menon Fioro. I mean, if we do get to the ground, Oh, it's Blanchfield season. She's so good on the ground. There's no denying that she's special in that that realm, the ground game. Her takedowns are not good. They're not good, and that could, if she hasn't improved, she's possible she has improved. If she has improved, that would be huge. Even if with some improvements, I'm not sure if she can get takedowns. That's scary. And Rose does have good takedown defense, but the physicality may actually play a big factor here. That's like the big if. And Rose does have good get ups, but if it is on the ground, I think Erin Blanchfield will be able to control Rose. I do think she'll be able to. Against Amanda Hebos, she was able to get takedown on Rose, so that did happen. And Rose is bigger than Hebos, so there is that. It's a tough one. I know Blanchfield's gonna be coming towards Rose 5 rounds. The footwork, she's gonna get stung a few times for sure. This is so tough. I'm gonna go Blanchfield by decision. I think she'll be able to get 3 takedowns and hold Rose down for those 3 rounds. But this is, like I said, this is a 50-50 fight. I think there's a betting ARB opportunity where you can bet Rose pre-fight with plus money and then bet Erin Blanchfield later on for plus money. I think like after like round 1, round 2 maybe. I think that's very, very possible. It's a tough ask, I won't lie. This is a really tough I don't know how anyone can have like a confident side in this. It's probably going to look pretty one-sided for the most part, I would imagine, whoever's winning. So, but pre-fight, it's hard to tell who the hell is going to win this fight. I think I'm going to go Blanchfield by decision. I might change my mind, though. I totally could change my mind. I mean, Rose trains with really good people at Elevation. Like, I don't think it's Team Elevation, but she trains with people who train near that in Colorado, like Miranda Maverick, Raquel Pennington, etc., etc. Those kind of people were really, really good. Erin Blanchfield, she got Fatima Klein, who's really, really good. I'm not a fan of either of these people's corners of Rose's and Erin Blanchfield's. Of course, Rose and Pat Barry, most people know this is not good, not so great. Blanchfield's corner against Menon, I couldn't believe the advice I was hearing. I was like, what are you trying to tell her? You're not getting her to win this fight. Ridiculous. But I am going to go Blanchfield. I think she's going to be able to find takedowns. Maybe she can get a sub. I don't think so. But I think she'll be able to get some takedowns because of physicality and win the fight like that. But I'm not confident. Next fight of the card, Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi. Look who it is. I'm Amir Albazi by sub round 3. Let me start by saying this because I'm not ultra biased or like Albazi or anything. I found this picture funny. It's like I'm gonna use it. Amir Albazi lost his last fight against Kai Kara France. 100%. I will not say no. He did not win that fight. Although I won't lie, after when retaping it, it wasn't as bad as a look as I thought. In all honesty, it wasn't as bad of a look as I thought. Especially because we now know he had the neck surgery and he had the heart surgery. More so the heart surgery because I think the neck surgery came in later and it wasn't had anything to do with that. But the heart surgery, that's a real thing. He got super tired early. I was like, what happened to Albazi's game? Even fighting like that, it didn't seem like he can go 5 rounds. Even with that, his cardio is good. I'm not worried about his cardio at all. His jiu-jitsu is freaking nasty. This dude has such good jiu-jitsu, and I think it's better than Brandon Moreno's. And I think people might call that a hot take. It's like, this guy couldn't get subbed by Pantoja. This guy can beat Pantoja, Albazi. He can't. He is very, very good. He is big for the weight class, which I think is a big fact. Is like a factor here. No, obviously not in terms of height, but in terms of dude is a freaking massive. He's ripped, shredded. He's good. He's got good striking too. I don't think people realize he's got good striking too. Against Kai Kara France, he looked pretty silly striking because it's Kai Kara France. Kai Kara France is really good striking. At striking. Like that's the worst matchup Albazi has in this division. It's Kai Kara France. It's a guy who's really good at striking and can stop, and is very, very good at stopping takedowns. But even in that fight, like I said, he competed a lot better than I remember it being. He didn't win again, of course. Round 3, get very close to choking out Kai Kara France. That's super impressive. To be able to even take down Kai France like he did. Impressive. In round 4, the round he definitely clearly lost the clearest. That fight, he was able to take down Kai France. Kai France was able to get back up. But even with getting back up, it's like I was shocked to even see him get a takedown against Kai France like he did. This guy's good. This guy's freaking good, and he's underrated. At plus money odds, it's insane. Insane. Now at Fight Ready, a new team, which I like Fight Ready as a camp. And especially going against Brandon Moreno, because they've had experience with Brandon Moreno. They've had experience training to fight Brandon Moreno, like with Figueiredo. That's a great thing to have. Henry Cejudo there. Santino DeFranco, Eddie Cha. Good wrestlers, of course. Albazi's that good. And another thing to take away from this with Albazi, he had those big injuries. Heart surgery, neck surgery. And he said in an interview, it's like his doctor told him, you should think about getting a 9 to 5. That was told to him. He's back here fighting after that whole experience and going through all that rehab. This dude wants it. I know for a fact this guy is going to try and go for it until he dies. So he's going to keep going and going and going and going. I know that with Albazi. With Moreno, I don't know that as much. Had a time off, and fair enough, yet he probably needed a time off because his last fight, I picked Royval. I don't think I was doing picks and stuff like that back then, but I picked and bet Royval in that fight. And that was a rough look. I think people are going to say that's because of elevation since it was Mexico City. But I know for a fact that Moreno got to Mexico City early. So it really shouldn't have been. That shouldn't have been the reason why. And he fought really weird doing like overhands and stuff like that. That was so odd. I don't know what was going on. And I thought Royval definitely won that fight. If that Moreno shows up, I have no doubt in my mind Albazi wins. No doubt in my mind. If the other Moreno shows up, that's like we've seen in the past, I still think Albazi wins. Obviously, it'll be tougher, but man, Albazi's clean on the feet. He's very clean, and he hits hard. Like I don't think people really believe that, but he hits hard. That jab is a thing of beauty, and that uppercut, the way he put down Costa, who we know has a really good chin. I mean, he dropped Costa like 2 times in that fight. This guy has power. He has power. And Moreno is a bit chinny, 100%. And the reason why I'm going with sub is because I think it's a club and sub. I think Albazi is going to hit Moreno with a big shot and latch up a sub with it. I think that's why I'm going with the finish. I think I'm going to look at a specific prop, which is... Do they have the prop open? No, not yet. But the prop I'm thinking about is Albazi finish only. If it goes the distance, he'll win. Like, I think that's a good prop to attack. Because I don't think he's going to get finished. He's a durable son of a gun. And he was fighting with the heart condition, going to get finished like that. I don't think Moreno's going to be the guy to finish him. Albazi's good. And I got a lot of belief in him. Like, here in this spot. I think he's an absolute dog. He's going to fight for your money. I know that for a fact. And I think the opinion on him is down because he lost to Kai France. Or not lost, but he won. Won in quotes. But people know Kai won that fight. And that's why people's opinions on him are gone. And people are like, oh, but Moreno beat Kai France. No. He did beat him, but I thought he won like the early rounds, but the momentum of that fight was shifting towards Kai. It absolutely was shifting towards Kai. He was hitting the liver with the liver kick. Beautiful by Moreno, was able to get the finish. But things were shifting towards Kai, and Kai is doing really well. Albazi, I think Albazi can find the shot on Moreno. And again, his wrestling and jiu-jitsu are being severely underrated. His takedown entries are a thing of beauty. Like, he does a lot of sub attempts and good submission rates. He's his whole background BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And in fact, even when doing MMA for a certain period of time, he took a break from it and spent a bunch of time on jiu-jitsu. Like this guy is a fantastic grappler, and I think he can do similar things that Pantoja did to Moreno, where he had his back in held great positions. So, man, I like Albazi here. I feel like I'm forgetting some things. I should say wear and tear. Man, Moreno has been through so many wars, so many wars. He's not. I know it's younger. He is younger than Albazi, but younger in the sense of age. But in fight years, he's old in fight years at flyweight. He is, sadly. Now, doesn't mean he can't win or anything like that. He's got more experience, but Moreno is. He's been through it. He's been through it and been fighting a lot of dudes. A lot of the best dudes over and over, 5-rounders over and over. Of course, that experience helps. I expect Albazi's cardio to be better this time around than it was against Kai. I think he's gonna be dialed in. I think has his eyes on the prize. He's ready to seize his freaking moment. He's my biggest bet of the card. I love Amir Albazi in this fight. I think he's gonna step up to the plate. I think he can finish Brandon Moreno. That's probably a bold take, but I'm willing to have it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the card. Let's go through this again. I'll give you some other bets I like, mostly more significant strikes and more takedowns. Was like my sort of bets like that. The bets I'd look at. More 6 strikes to law, I think, is a good bet. I think that's a good bet. Takedowns, not crazy about it. It probably does go over, but I don't not too crazy about that. Jamie Linhorth, more 6 strikes, probably Jamie Linhorth. Actually, I think that's probably a pretty good bet because Petrovic's striking is just it's atrocious. It's a thing of nastiness. I don't like it. Maybe more takedowns Petrovic, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but if you had to bet one, I'd say more takedowns Petrovic is the way to go for that one. And probably an over is interesting. Cody Gibson and Helliger. Maybe more 6 strikes Gibson, but I'm not maybe more takedowns Gibson. I'm not crazy about any of those though. I won't lie. So that's my thoughts. City Armfield. Oof. That's a tough one. This is a tough one. I won't lie. Over 2.5. I'm not crazy about anything here. Like I think both guys can get 6 strikes. The 6 strikes. If someone was gonna get takedowns, maybe it's Armfield, but I don't think anyone shoots for a takedown. I pass on this one. They both hit hard. Who knows? I think I like under 1.5 more than I even do like Romanov to win. More takedowns, probably Romanov is a good look. I think that's a good look, but probably disgusting odds. I'm not crazy about more 6 strikes for either guy. This fight, more 6 strikes, probably Henry's not a bad bet because Henry's going to have the volume. He's definitely going to have the volume. It's just Jourdain's definitely going to have the shots that hit a lot harder. But whether they count as 6 strikes, I think I'll count what Henry does as well as 6 strikes. So that's what I think. Takedowns, I guess I go Henry, but even then Jourdain has shown to shoot takedowns, and maybe at a lower weight class being bigger, I think maybe he shoots takedowns. So I'm not crazy about takedowns on either side. Both are super durable. Probably an over, I think, is interesting. Although I bet you it's disgusting. Minus 310, yeah. It probably does go over, though. Lipsky versus Jasmine. I'm not crazy about 6 strikes. More takedowns, I think, is definitely Jasmine. I think that's pretty freaking safe. Like, you're not going to lose your money. Oh, well, I should say, if you're betting more takedowns and it's like, if they tie in takedowns, you don't lose your money, you avoids and comes back, Jasmine's a safe bet on this and that end. She's not going to get taken down. It's just her going to be doing the one. She's going to be the one to do takedowns. Although, if you want a value play, I bet you the under is not bad. Oh, actually, I don't even know where the under is. Yeah, the under is not too bad. So that might be something interesting, but am I going to play it? No, I'm not interested in that. But yeah, that's what I think. Zahabi Munoz. More 6 strikes Zahabi, but that's like, I don't know. I'm not crazy about any other thing. Maybe an over. An over would be interesting, but I bet you that number is disgusting. If I look, Zahabi. Yeah, that's horrible. I wouldn't bet it. Minus 485 what's the point? Pass on that. Next fight of the card, Mike Malott, Trevin Giles. I think the under is a good look at plus money. At plus money, that's not bad at all. But although I'm not super crazy about it, because maybe Mike Malott does come in and is like, I'm just gonna keep it safe and not gas myself out. That's very possible too, to be fair. But I do think he wins. More 6 strike. That's actually, that one's interesting because Trevor Giles can land like a few punches. It's not like he's low volume necessarily. Yeah, I'm not crazy about 6 strikes or takedowns for either guy. So that's what I think. I think the under is like the best look just because it's plus money. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Over 2.5 is interesting, although this guy Stoltzfus breaks, and you can see a finish with Barriault because of him breaking. Not crazy about that. I think more takedowns. Barriault is a great look. He's gonna push that freaking pace. I mean, not great look, but it's gonna be a fine one. I think more strikes probably is even better though for Barriault. Power bar. So I think power bar, more 6 strikes is a very good bet. Kyle Machado versus Brenton Ibero. I think Kyle, more takedowns, more strikes, I think is pretty good. I as long as it gets out of round 1, if it does get out, this fight gets out of round 1, I think you have zero to worry about, if I'm honest. I think you win that bet pretty easily. Let me see the under. What's the under in this fight? Plus 125. Maybe a little dicey because how Kyle fights, he does tend to drag stuff over. But I'm going with KO because it's Brenton Ibero. I don't care. It's possible he can get a late finish. I don't think that's out of the question, him getting a finish. In all curiosity too, what is him by like inside the distance? Plus 150. That's an interesting look. I might look at that and I might sprinkle that. But yeah, that's what I think. I think Kyle Machado. Against most other guys at 205, I'm not even sure if I pick him, but it's Ibero. I can't help myself. Derek Lewis. More 6 strikes, probably the knees is probably pretty safe, especially if it goes over a round. I think that's gonna hit because Lewis is not necessarily known for big volume. Lewis, more takedowns, that is not losing. The knees ain't shooting no takedowns. I know that for a fact. Lewis, more takedowns. That's your parlay is hitting. Like, not hitting necessarily, but it's not dying because it's gonna void at the very least as long as Derek Lewis tries and doesn't get taken down himself. But he's not gonna. Deniz is not gonna shoot no takedowns. He's a kickboxer. He's gonna want to kickbox. Yeah, so that's what I think. Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis by ground and pound. Rose Namajunas, Aaron Blanchfield. This is such a tough one. More 6 strikes, Namajunas is probably interesting, but it's not like Blanchfield can't land some things. She's always coming forward, but because she's always coming forward, she's gonna get landed on because of that. More takedowns, Blanchfield, I would guess, because I think Namajunas knows why even chance it on the ground with this girl. Why even chance it on the ground? So I bet you that's the path you want to go. More takedowns, Blanchfield. I think that's an interesting one. I think you'll get okay odds on that. Honestly, you might get okay odds on that. And this fight. I like more takedowns Albazi. I like that a lot. More 6 strikes is a little dicey because Albazi can be a little bit lower volume-ish, sort of. But I do think he's going to be landing cleaner shots. Depends on the type of Moreno that fights this fight. Because if it's the Moreno we've known in the past, besides the Royval fight, then it's going to be... The 6 strike bet can be between them. It probably does lean Moreno even. Although the better strikes will be from Albazi. But... I mean, if it's a Moreno fought Royval that Saif Saud has crafted for some reason, Albazi's gonna get that. He's gonna get more 6 strikes for sure. He's gonna land stuff on ground on top as well. So yeah, but more takedowns I think is way better. I don't hate Albazi by finish just in general. Let's look at the odds on that. Albazi inside the distance plus 600. He's been saying he wants to get a finish. Moreno's tough to finish, but I don't think it's out of the question. I don't think it's out of the question for it to happen. So I think that's an interesting look. But yeah, maybe I'm not gonna end up putting money on that just to be safe. But yeah, I love Amir Albazi here. He's my big bet of the card. I got a lot of belief in him to get this one done. Give me Amir Albazi. The guy right here. He's got to win for my channel's sake because he's gonna hurt me for having this profile picture. But nah, I'm not gonna change it. I love it. I love you, Amir Albazi. Sort of, not really, not like that. But yeah, I'm super excited for this card. That's the whole breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. You can check me out at BetMade@Tips, Champ Bets. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Very excited for UFC Fight Night Edmonton. Let's go, Albazi. Let's go. And of course, check me out next week. I have another video for the card next week, which I believe is Prates versus Magny, which is a banger. I'm very excited for that card too. And that fight card has some pretty good stuff, and I think some interesting lines that I'm definitely taking a look at. So, yep. See you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching.